We now know why they've been putting up such a fight. We now know why they've been screeching at the top of their lungs as if their lives depended on it, when they didn't do any of that over the past 4 dark, abysmal years when Kamala and Biden literally destroyed our country. We now know why. You might know who this is. This is Antonio Gracias, who has been working with DOGE. And him and Elon Musk have been working very, very closely together on essentially, running DOGE and eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse. Everything that the Democrats have said they've wanted to do for decades. But all of a sudden, since Trump is now saying he wants to do it, and now he's appointed Elon Musk, all of a sudden it's turned into a cancer of an idea. It makes no sense at all. It's completely hypocritical. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds, which is why I call them the hypocrites. What he has now just released is going to absolutely blow your mind, talking about illegal criminal migrants, the funneling of sex trafficking, and how the Biden administration not only facilitated this, but actually incentivized it, and a whole lot more. So I'm just going to play you these clips. This has to go viral. Check this out for yourself, and then come on back.
We mapped it through to the benefit programs. We found in the benefit programs that every benefit program we looked at was being accessed by these people. 1.3 million of them are on Medicaid right now, today. And by the way, it's just ramping. It's just starting, just to give you a point. And then out of curiosity, I woke up at night like 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep. My mind was running on this. I sent the engineers a note saying, hey guys, let's just look at the public voter rolls, see what we find in some friendly states. And we looked at the voter rolls and we found that thousands of them were registered to vote in a handful of states. And then we went even further with those friendly states and found that many of those people had actually voted. It was shocking to us. And if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. And so now the question we're asking ourselves is, what do we do? We referred some to prosecution. That's ongoing right now. We're thinking through how to do it. And the reality is they have various kinds of status, and it's a very detailed analysis legally that we're working through right now about how to deal with it.
So thousands of those people registered to vote.
Yes.
In the election.
Which is a federal crime, by the way.
Well, yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is, like, the Heritage Foundation has a very good project. It's obviously right-leaning, where they're studying all cases of fraud. I looked at it before we were here. There's only been 24 cases since 2003 of somebody who's a non-citizen trying to vote. Now, those are people caught. So this would be incredibly dramatic if it was even 1,000 people.
Oh, no, Jason, it's more than 1,000. I've seen it. I've seen the data myself, and it's more than 1,000 in just a couple of states. I mean, it is shockingly bad. And this is the tip of the iceberg, guys. It's the tip of the iceberg. This doesn't include these 7.8 million people that ICE has that have come in illegally and know are here, and all the people that came illegally we don't know are here. I mean, this is not a political issue. I want to be really clear about this.
Yeah, Antonio,
this is about America.
Let's just take one step back, because I just want you to repeat this. So, because I think it's important, and we may have just run over it a little too quickly. When you get a social security number, what you're saying is there's all of these important downstream consequences. One of the downstream consequences is you could show up, register to vote, and that's an illegitimate action that's breaking federal law. That's one. But the second is that without knowing who this person is, they can start to absorb resources that could have otherwise gone to an American. I guess that's like a fundamental part of this.
Yes,
and so
absolutely.
How do you quantify that? Can you just maybe explain it a little bit more about all of the different ways in which you think now, the United States ends up leaking services to these folks?
And also they could be contributing too, right? They could be paying taxes into the system. And so I guess there's both of those possibilities, and both of those have fingerprints to them up. So yeah, good question.
Look, we need to figure this out. This is it's massively complex. You can see the map I have on the whiteboard in our office. It's huge. And we're figuring it out right now. But let me just tell you this. In every benefit program we looked at, and this is just a handful of states, we found people on all the benefit programs. And we found them on unemployment. We found them on Medicaid. So, Jason, to your point, the people on Medicaid and unemployment, they're not contributing. They're taking out, they're mooching, right? Sure. There are criminals. I mean, look, we sent this data list to the National Targeting Center. I don't want to get too far into the data, but I can tell you they found hard hits in the Targeting Center of very bad people, criminals and people on the terrorist watch list that are in this group. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a problem. We got to figure out how to deal with it. And of course, there are people that are also, have jobs and paying in the system. That's also true. All these things are true. And we're trying to sort through the data and figure out how to actually deal with it now.
And so during the past 4 years, we had Americans who could barely eke by, barely afford anything, struggling with all sorts of costs of living, bare necessities. And we're giving benefits, taxpayer-funded benefits, to illegal migrants. And they are benefiting from programs that Americans would have died to possess. That is the reason for their outrage. That is the reason why they're complaining and being so dramatic. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They want to go back to the last dark, abysmal decades under these radical hypocrites, period. In this next clip right here, Antonio talks about the Biden administration's border policies and how those policies handed human traffickers $13 to $15 billion a year to bring in future Democrat voters. Listen to this.
But you got to realize we gave $13 to $15 billion a year to the human traffickers. That's what the system did. And the money magnet that attracted these people here, it wasn't like it was some crisis, environmental crisis. The money magnet attracted these people, and many of them died on the way up. I mean, think about what that's like. Think about the human crisis. So this is a
human suffering, a human rights tragedy. You have people who are getting sold into slavery and being abused at the border. At a minimum, every American should be against that.
Everyone is. Every American is. Look, man, this turned my stomach. When I went to the border and I heard the stories, it turned my stomach, man. We are America, okay? We protect people like this. We don't give incentives to people to pay traffickers. If you pay $20,000, I heard $20,000 to $500 just across the border, $20,000. I mean, where does someone who's coming from Central America or Africa get 20 grand to pay the traffickers that are walking them across the border? It's not free to walk up Mexico, okay? It's controlled by the cartels. What happens? I mean, they got to pay that back. How do they pay it back? They're basically indentured servants. This is terrible. This isn't what we do in this country, right? This country is about freedom. And we are here to protect it. We protect it around the world, protect it in our home country. And I don't think any American that I know, none of them, Democrats, Republicans, or anyone, thinks this is good. It's not good. It's bad for America and it's evil behavior. We should incent it. We shouldn't give people a reason to do it. We should find legal ways to come in the country. And Antonio, I think that's the way to come together.
Do you believe that there is a Democratic Party motive to increase voter base for the Democrats behind all of this, as has been proclaimed by some?
Look, as I go through the data and I see it's all about the data. Okay, David, and I know you love the data. When you just in a handful of states, man, I'm talking about 4 states. We looked at the voter rolls. We found these people, thousands of them on the voter rolls, and we found many of those people had voted. Right, in one state in particular, well over 1,000 voted. Yeah, I think this was a move to import voters.
But really importantly, I just want to make sure, because when I talk to politicians from the Democratic Party about this, they say there's aspects of human rights, doing the right thing for people in need, that is motivating some of this behavior. Is that a lie and they actually have a different motive? Or do some in the party think that way, but there are real kind of call it a small group of highly influential folks at the top of the Democratic Party that recognize that this is going to grow the voter base, and they're kind of motivating this? What do you think is the construction of what sounds to some to be a conspiracy, and how much of this is really like widely understood?
Look, man, I'll tell you what I have seen. I'll tell you the actual information. If you look at Social Security Administration, we set all the defaults to kind of max open, no ID requirements, right? You get a Social Security number before we got here by walking in an office, answering, with a medical record and a school ID that had your name and your date of birth on it. That's it. Okay. We set the defaults to open on Social Security. We set the defaults to open on paying people out. And we set the collections defaults basically to 0. So that's how the system looks. I'm just reporting the facts. Do I think that the average person is a Democrat in Illinois, or the guys I knew, I grew up in Chicago, they know this? They don't know this. They don't know this. So were there people at the top of the system that did this? Yeah. People created this policy. The former administrators of these agencies created these policies. I've seen them. I've read them myself. I've gone to the data myself. They've seen them. Now, this isn't everybody. If you're the average person out there who's a Democrat and you see what I've seen, I believe you'll conclude what I concluded, which is this isn't right. These policies are wrong. They're evil. They're wrong. We gave an incentive for people to get trafficked. That's terrible. I just don't think people know. The reason I'm even willing to do all, you guys know me, I'm pretty private. I come on your podcast because we're buddies. But like, man, the reason I'm talking about this is not political. It's because it's a human rights issue, and the human rights issue is being confused. We are incenting people to pay traffickers to come to America. We were doing this, right? We got to find better ways to do that. And I don't believe any American, the 80% of the people Jason's talking about that would say close the border, that's the 80% of people coming together on this issue, which
Antonio.
is, man.
They called us conspiracy theorists. They called us whack jobs. They called us right-wing extremist nut jobs. Everything that we said, everything. We've run out of conspiracies. This is so deeply, tragically, it's so sad because out of all of that unbelievable, revealing truth about what this sadistic, evil regime has done to our country, I honestly think, you might think I'm crazy right now, that the most important words that came out of Antonio's mouth is that the average Democrat doesn't know this. They don't know this. Those guys out there protesting, well, a lot of them are paid, but some of them are just crazy Karens that watch too much MSNBC and CNN. I said this in a previous video. The reason that we lost in Wisconsin a crucial Supreme Court nomination is because of the propagandist apparatus. This entire conglomerate of fake news that is perpetuating and propagating that Elon Musk wants to go after your $18 in your checking account when the guy has literally so much money. He has enough money to give everybody on the planet $1 million and it wouldn't even cause a dent. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is bigger than a crime. This is bigger than, just these guys are just liars or hypocrites. This is evil incarnate. There should be prosecutions. There should be a freaking tribunal. Excuse my language. It makes me so mad. And it should make you so mad. You need to share this with everybody. And if you think this is the end of it, I'm going to play a clip right now of President Trump on Air Force One saying these ominous words about what DOGE is about to uncover. Watch this.
A sense of how long Elon Musk's mission will last and when he will depart.
Well, Elon is fantastic, and I think he's a patriot, and I think it's a shame what they're doing with his car company. And a great car. It's a great car, great product. And it tells you what a patriot he is. He's amazing. No, I mean, as long as he'd like. I like smart people, and he's a smart person. I also like him personally. When he endorsed me, that's when I really got to know him. I knew him a little bit before that, but not much. And then he endorsed me, and it was a very strong, embracing endorsement, as we all know. And I would say Elon will stay for a certain period of time, and then he's going to want to get back to his businesses full time. But he's done a fantastic job. We found hundreds of, think of it, just hundreds of, we found millions of dollars of fraud and abuse and waste. And they're still going, they're going strong. They found something today that's horrible. It's horrible. So what they found, well, you'll find out very soon. What they found is incredible. And I give him a lot of credit. He's got some very smart people with him.
Do you think he can finish?
They're working very closely with our secretaries and the people that are the heads of.
Do you think
you would appoint him to another position once his 130 days?
I would. I think Elon's great, but he also has a company to run, or a number of companies to run. That he can do this, that he can find the time. He loves the country. That's why he does it. But we're in no rush. But there'll be a point at which time Elon's going to have to leave.
So are you auto a date, a specific date?
I would think a few months.
Even when Elon leaves and goes back to being CEO, will DOGE stick around in some kind of capacity?
Yeah, it'll still DOGE itself. Yeah. At some point, just so you understand, I don't want to get it wrong. I want Elon to stay as long as possible. Number one, I like him. Number two, he's doing a great job. Number three, he is a patriot. That's why he's doing this. And he's, it's very costly for him. But, so I want him to stay as long as possible. But there'll be a point where he's going to have to leave. And when he does, the secretaries will take totally over. And DOGE will stay active. We have a lot of smart people. A lot of those people, I believe, are going to go into the agencies. And they'll work on it from the inside.
You mentioned auto companies that you've been speaking with. Have you spoken to any executives today?
Yeah.
So he's obviously talking a lot about the tariffs too, but the thing that he said about DOGE, said they found something today, and one of the reporters there was, "What did they find? What did they find?" He goes, "Oh, you're going to find out." I mean, as if sex trafficking, illegal criminal migrants getting benefits, tax-paid, tax-funded benefits, Social Security numbers, God knows what else that this unbelievably sadistic regime has done, as if that's not enough. Also, all the, transgender plays in Peru, or God knows, studying transgender mice, billions of dollars, millions of dollars, what have you. The list goes on and on. This is why they're screeching. This is why they're getting upset. Their plan, their strategy has been fully exposed. There are no more conspiracy. We have to come up with new ones. There are no more conspiracy theories left. You have a mission right now. You have an objective. I command you, please share this. Tap the thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Share this with everyone. Because Antonio was absolutely correct. The average Democrat is completely under mass hypnosis, brainwashed. Because if they knew the truth about all this, there's no way they would support it. There's no way. So I beg you, make this video go viral. Share it with everybody you know, especially your liberal neighbors, friends, coworkers, what have you. I can't wait to get your comments on this. Please let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of all this? My God. So please, I can't wait to hear from you. Also, check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA. I'll see you soon.